welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So tonight's show is kind of a special show. It was a radio show, so a radio station had sponsored this show, and it was called The Meltdown, which apparently meant that it was acoustic, which I did not know until AJR actually went on and said this is an acoustic set. So that definitely changed my opinion about the opener, but I'll explain all that later. Anyway, so the show was AJR. Was the headliner, and then opening for them was Ocean Park Standoff, which I had just seen in my most recent video, so I think this may be the first time I saw a band back to back. And then before them was a band called Jag Mac, and it was definitely an interesting show. But let me talk about getting there first. So getting there, obviously getting from Rockville to Baltimore is sometimes not easy, but today was actually pretty easy, so I'm definitely not complaining about that. The traffic definitely was not as bad as it was the last time I was in Baltimore for a show. And again, I left a little bit later, so I wonder if that had something to do with it. And I wasn't in like 5:30 rush hour traffic. I was in like 6:30 rush hour traffic. But my parking garage is still there. Still got a good spot, so that was pretty awesome. Definitely can't complain about the ride in, which is great. Way to start off the evening. All right, so let's get into the show. So Jag Mac. Talk about an interesting set. Definitely not my classic style, but it was definitely something to watch. So these 6 people, 4 boys, 2 girls, come up on stage, women, men, I guess, and in sequence, colorful, like just glitter everywhere outfits, and they were definitely a like pop band hardcore. It was just so great. They all had mics, so no instruments were being played. They had like a DJ who was playing the music in the background, and yeah, they just had like, they came out with a synchronized choreography, which was fantastic, and like pretty much every song they had some sort of synchronized dance to, which was just so great and just so good. Definitely more of a pop band than I'm used to, for sure. But apparently they're all siblings, which is actually pretty cool, and they're from Baltimore, which made it even cooler. And yeah, so they also, I guess, were on like Disney Channel, so I guess they like Disney Channel helped them get big-ish. Again, I'd never heard them before, so I had no idea. But yeah, I actually really liked their second and third song. I thought both of them were really catchy. I especially liked the music part in their second song, like right before, like the lead up into the chorus, and then like in between the lyrics of the chorus. I actually like really enjoyed that musical part. Again, it was like those short notes that I really like. And then the third song was just super catchy, and I really liked it, and it had like a couple different parts to it, so it was definitely a little bit more dynamic than some of their other songs. And then after that, they went into a covers, like bout of covers. They had 3 different covers. I didn't recognize a single one of them. The crowd was going crazy, so I guess it was good. Again, not really, because I didn't know any of the covers. It wasn't super interesting, but I mean, they were all upbeat and people were having a good time, so that was good. And then after that, they played their like big hit, which I didn't really care for. I thought the third song and even the second song was better. So they had a lot of female singing and some male singing, but I definitely liked when the males were singing more than the females. And I actually got to see somebody legit floss on stage, so that was interesting, I guess. Again, they were like super poppy, and not necessarily a bad way to open the show, but I think maybe it was because it was supposed to be an acoustic show, and I think their opening actually kind of took away from Ocean Park Standoff's set, because when they went on, it was like confusing. I actually, especially because I had just seen them this previous week, they definitely were like lacking, and I was like, oh, it's weird that they have 2 guitars and the like keyboardist isn't really like jamming out like she normally is. Until AJR came on and said that it was an acoustic show, and I was like, oh, I bet you Ocean Park Standoff was also supposed to be acoustic. So that like definitely made a difference, and that definitely impacted the feel for Ocean Park Standoff for me until after the fact, which is like kind of random, but yeah. So anyway, sorry, very distracted. There's like a really bad smell of something burning and I'm a little bit nervous that it's my car, so I'm trying to like look and be aware. But anyway, hopefully it's not my car. Usually they say if you can smell it, it's not your car, so hopefully that's true. And I'm like looking, no lights are on or anything. Well, this video might not be finished at some point if I have to stop and pull over, but we'll see. Let's just keep going for now. Sorry about that. So, Ocean Park Standoff. They opened with my like new favorite song of theirs. It's definitely not my all-time favorite song. If You Were Mine is still my all-time favorite, and when they played it, it was fantastic. But Lost Boys is definitely quickly becoming a really like good favorite of mine. I think it's really catchy, and it definitely is a fun song to see live. But again, it was acoustic, so that definitely changed things a little bit. And so because of that, but also actually at the beginning of that song, the guitarist, the lead singer, before he even started playing, said to the sound guys, I guess, through the mic, he was like, I might need a new cable after this one. So he definitely knew that something was wrong with the guitar, and he kind of started playing the first two notes, and he just put the guitar down because he knew it wasn't working. And the fact that he just like kept singing and like just went for the whole song was awesome. But again, because of that, the song was definitely like missing a little bit of something. And then it was acoustic, so it was even like missing a little bit more of something, because when they played it last week, it was like super awesome and I really enjoyed it. And not that I didn't really enjoy it, because I did, and it's kind of fun when you can like really hear all the lyrics. You definitely pick up on a little bit like more than you maybe normally would. So again, I definitely thought it was a good start, especially for the fact that they followed up this like clearly not acoustic band. And then after that, they played another big hit, and then the third song was their song about New York, and they did address it, but I do appreciate that they didn't say exactly what they said last time. So they didn't say like, oh, you guys were like more enthusiastic than our New York show or whatever. So that was cool that they didn't like repeat exactly what they said, so I appreciated that. And then after that, they played definitely my favorite song, If You Were Mine, so I really like that. And again, it was acoustic, so it's a little less fun than it normally would be when it's like live and just, you know, all the instruments going at full blast. And then after that, they played they kept playing a pretty big single, and they finished with their current single. So it was a good set. Again, I kind of wish that I had known it was supposed to be a acoustic show, because I definitely would have changed my opinion about like the set in general, because I liked it. It just was like, I was like, this just seems kind of strange that they're not like playing all their instruments. But then after I figured out it was an acoustic show, it totally made more sense, and I think that it made their set better, again, in retrospect. So I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get a chance to experience it as an actual acoustic show, like while it was supposed to be acoustic. That came afterwards. But overall, I think they did a nice job. Definitely enjoyed them better when they had all their instruments. So I don't know. I mean, again, I guess it's cool that I can say I saw them acoustic, which is great, but I just like when they're poppy and upbeat. Anyway, so now let's get into AJR. So AJR, they came out and they all were sitting. So Ryan and Jack, and I don't know. So they were all sitting down in front of mics, and they had the keyboard, bass, and then that little like electronic-y thing that plays all their sounds. So again, it wasn't like true acoustic, it was kind of like half acoustic. But so they opened with a really great opener. It was super like fantastic and just a really fun song. And then even their second song was really great. They opened with like kind of one of their second biggest hit, I guess. Sober Up was the second song that they played, so that was really fun. Definitely two crowd pleasers like right in a row was a really good choice, and it made the show definitely interesting. And again, he did say like acoustic set, so I was like, oh, okay, it is acoustic. And Ryan, the keyboardist, was wearing a like fun, ugly sweater, and it said single and ready to jingle. So they like had a moment where he like got in front of the stage and addressed like why he was wearing that sweater and whether he was single or not. So that was pretty fun. Like you just kind of, that's like what AJR is very good at, is just kind of being entertaining in between songs. So then the next song was a slower song, a really good song. Turning Out is just, I really like it. I like the meaning behind it. I think it's really awesome. So again, perfect for an acoustic set, slower song, worked really well with the acoustic thing. And then the fourth song they played was kind of awesome, because before they played, he said, I think this is the first time we've tried to play this acoustic, so like bear with us. And halfway through the song, someone dressed in a Santa suit showed up like on the balcony, and so everyone started taking pictures and looking, so it actually distracted Jack while he was singing, and he was like, oh, that's Santa. So after he finished the song, he invited Santa to come up on stage so they could take a picture with the crowd. So that was pretty cool. Just like, again, like just a random thing. And then after that they played I'm Not Famous, which is again really super upbeat, which was really cool to see acoustic, because they took a song that normally is like this really poppy song and they made it still really poppy with only certain things. And again, it wasn't like true acoustic, so it was like kind of like half acoustic, because they definitely had some electronic things going on. But yeah, I thought it was really well done, that song, and it definitely was like a good crowd pleaser sort of song. So that was awesome. Then they played the song about The Office, which I like just totally love that song, because I totally love The Office. So I really do appreciate that song, and I really like when they play it live, because it just like definitely hits home for me. And yeah, so it was like really cool that they played that song, especially in an acoustic set. They kind of explained like, yeah, well, when Ryan came to me with the song, I kind of thought he was joking, and then now it's a really famous, popular song. So I thought that was cool. And then after that, they played, so then they kind of addressed the whole encore thing, right? They're like, all right, so we have one more song, but really we have like more songs than that, so we're gonna like go off stage, but then we're gonna come back. So they played their biggest single now, Burn the House Down, which was awesome, super fun. Everyone was having a really good time. And then when they left for like 2 seconds, which was nice, I guess. I mean, obviously I don't appreciate long encore leaves, but like a little bit longer would have been okay. Not that that's a complaint at all. They like literally came back on like 2 seconds later, and again, that is totally fine with me. I like when things go quickly and end short, and that's how I like it, so it was perfect. But I guess the point is, they went off after like this big awesome song, and everyone started cheering encore, encore, which was super fun. Because honestly, I haven't actually been to a show where people are actually cheering for the encore. They usually just stay and expect. So I appreciated that they like actually demanded it instead of just was like, oh yeah, they're gonna come back on. So then after that, they played Weak, which is my all-time favorite AJR song. Definitely has like some significant meaning for someone I know in my life, and I just like love when they play it, and seeing it acoustic was definitely interesting. Again, I really like to rock out to that song. I think it's one of like the most fun songs in general. You just like jump up and down during the chorus, and it's just awesome because it has like this deeper meaning, but it's still like a super fun song to dance to, especially when you see it live. So the fact that it was acoustic made it interesting, because I definitely wanted to jump up and down during the chorus, but also had kind of like a hesitation to do so, just because it wasn't like that straight up poppy upbeat song. But then at the same time it kind of was, because it's like just the nature of that song, but then it still has this deeper meaning, and it was like a little bit more like toned down because of the acoustic part of it. So I don't know, it was just like a really interesting way to have that song presented, and I thought it was fantastic. And again, I maybe a little bit biased because I really like that song, but I thought it was really good, and I really enjoyed that. I'm so glad that they ended with that song, again, because it's my favorite and it's really significant to me like in real life, so I just definitely like hearing that song played last at their shows. So my score, oh boy. Oh, also their show ended at like 10 o'clock, and again, I don't know if it was because it was this radio show or not really really sure like why they decided to end so early, especially because they started at 7:30 and then Ocean Park Standoff didn't actually go on until like 8:25, and they only played for a half hour, so that's like weird, right? They could have gone on at like 8:15. I don't know. Anyway, they ended at 10, which right now is super awesome because I'm gonna get home by like 11 o'clock, which is like my favorite thing. So I definitely am gonna maybe like bump up the score a little bit because of that, just because it's amazing. But then also like it kind of sucks because they definitely didn't play some songs that I would have enjoyed hearing. I wonder if it makes it harder to play acoustic. I'm not really sure. If you know, actually, that would be an awesome comment to leave if you know about like acoustic sets versus normal sets. Is it more difficult? Is it more like harsh on vocals? I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting that they only played 9 songs in total instead of like normally bands play like 15 to 16 songs if it's a longer encore. Anyway, so score. Opening band, super fun, like, but in like a funny way, like laughing at, not laughing with sort of a way. But like, again, I can't really like take points off just because I don't listen to that style of music. They were awesome. Again, they had a lot of female singing, which is not my favorite. Then Ocean Park Standoff, again, they were good, but it was just so weird that they didn't address the acoustic thing, and because of that, it really in the moment took away, and only retrospectively was I like, oh, that was supposed to be like that, I get it now. So that was definitely weird, but again, they played like the 3 songs I definitely wanted them to play, so that was pretty awesome. And when they played those songs, it was good. And even despite the whole guitar problem, he still like that song Lost Boys was still really good, and they did a nice job, so that's definitely point worthy. And then AJR was just awesome, and they're like so good, and they're such like good entertainers, and they are just kind of like goofy on stage with each other, which makes you feel like it's really genuine, which I really like in a band. They kind of just like go off script and you're like, wait, what are they talking about? But then it makes it like really fun and funny. So I think, gosh, this is definitely, oh my gosh, I don't even know. It's like just, I mean, getting there was super easy too, and then it ended at 10 o'clock, which is super nice. But then like the bad side of that was that some songs weren't played that I maybe would have liked to hear, especially like their new ones that have just come out recently. I would have liked to hear those live. Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna stick with a solid 8. The opener really didn't do anything for me, although it was entertaining, but it just, I don't know, it was just like maybe a little bit too much. Ocean Park Standoff, again, they were good, but it was just weird that their set was just seemed like something was missing, and maybe it was the guitar thing, and maybe something wasn't right in general on stage, but for some reason their set just like, it was just weird. I don't know, strange. But yeah, and then of course AJR was awesome, played for a short time. Don't necessarily love all their songs acoustic, but definitely enjoyed their set still, and they made it fun whether it was acoustic or not. And also some of their songs were still upbeat just because it was acoustic. It didn't really make a difference. So yeah, I think an 8.0 is a fair, solid score for this concert. So please let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if you were there, if you weren't there, if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Comment below, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!